let's do this, y'all. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out, riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. We're out racing today in Spangler, California for the 74th annual Moose Run Hare Hound, put on by the 4 Aces and Los Angeles Motorcycle Clubs. We're on the bomb run right now. A little bit of a mess for the bomb run start, but that's just how bomb runs are. I did do a pre-run this morning, and then last minute decided I was just gonna get through the bomb run. Don't push it. Don't make any mistakes. Which the guy next to me, 2 riders to my right, his name is Kevin there. He got clipped on the bomb run and crashed and ended up breaking his collarbone in 4 places. So that sucked for him, beginning of the race. That does happen, folks. There was a couple down riders on the race today. It is dangerous out there, and you know, we're out here to have fun and really just, you got to help look out for each other. And you know, it's a risk when you race. If you push it, there's a gamble, and sometimes you just got to be a little conservative. A lot of y'all came up to me and said hello at the beginning of the race. That was awesome. One thing, there's a guy named Dan, and right to my left, there's a cholla right there, and he comes over, looks at the bike, and walks right into that cholla bush. No suckers bite. Oh, I had to get my pliers out and help pluck it off his pants there, but that was awesome. You know, you guys coming over and saying hello. I love meeting y'all out there. It helps motivate me to keep making these videos and running my mouth here for the next hour. You know, some of these videos get kind of long. So this is just loop 1 today. I like to throw in as much content as I can, and I know they're kind of long, but well, just suck it up. That's what I say. Anyways, another shout out to another rider. His name's Dan as well, another Dan. And he's got his channel out, Grip It and Rip It, and met him for the first time out here. That was pretty awesome. And he told me he did his first full 2 loops today, which that is a stepping stone, you know. These Hare Hounds, the loop, there's a lot of loop 1 guys. I think there's about 200 some loop 1 riders out here, which is loop 1's 40 miles, and then you have the loop 2 guys, the rest of us. There's about 250 of us, and there's about 50 DNFs that didn't finish that second loop. So once you get that second loop finished under your belt, there's no going back. You're always doing both loops, well, unless you crash or something. I have crashed before in the beginning. You know, it's risky for everyone. I've crashed and I've DNF'd once, so that's why, you know, I'm not here to win it. I'm just here to ride it and having a good time doing it. So, but anything can happen. But I did pretty good today. There's a little bit of a line, like I said. I wasn't gunning it off the start here, and my goal is to always on the first loop just hold back a little bit, really preserve energy, just because I know that loop 2 can really get you. But that being said, this was, I think, my fastest run ever. I really did good. I think this first loop, I was running about 80-85%, I think. And then on loop 2, I really got after it. Loop 2 felt really good. You'll see that when that video comes out. Loop 2 gets a little chaotic in the hills where they were going up and down, and yeah, people are getting lost all over the place, and you know. It makes me laugh. You know, it's so frustrating. It's funny at the same time because you get lost. You're like, where the hell did the line go? And you're looking around. It's hard because the hill's back there, so you're not seeing any riders. And eventually I found the line, but I watched a couple other videos out here, and everyone was getting lost. So I think it's we can all laugh about it and have a beer later. Anyways, getting into this loop 1 here, getting in line. There's a guy on the far left, and he took the outside line. I should have followed him because I was behind him, and he made several passes. Yeah, I got a little arm pump. Yeah, I was talking about that outside line right now. So the little bit of an arm pump in the right hand. I did get new grips, which I forget someone recommended getting these the lock-on grips. Oh man, I love them. They don't slip at all. And They survived last week's ride, so a little bit of a rocky bottleneck coming up right here. Could go right. I was gonna go right, and then that guy falls. I was like, nope. And then I said, just be patient. It's still really early in the race. Yeah, just be patient. Good job, Georgie. Still early in the race. I was looking left, and maybe I could just go skirt around all these rocks or find a new line through the rocks. But just stayed in line. It was moving all right. It's a long race, and there's plenty of time to make up ground after this. But the guy right in front of me, this is Joshua. He's on a TM in front of me, and I'm gonna be behind him for like the next 30 miles, maybe 20 miles. I was behind this guy forever, and like he was right at my pace. I think he and I kind of think alike about our lines, but I got stuck. I should have passed him early on because I really just got kind of stuck at his speed, which was a good speed. It kind of made me hold back. You know, so you can really gas yourself. Oh, kind of overshot this turn here. Get in there, Georgie. Turn right. Come on, Trixie, make that turn. But yeah, get behind Joshua there and kind of running his pace, picking his lines. A couple times, I get right on up behind him, and I'm waiting for him to kind of make a mistake or find an opening. And we're in the north side of Spangler now, kind of the northwest side, and there's all these big brush out here, and I haven't ridden on this northwest side, just a little unfamiliar with it. I just couldn't find a good line to get around him. That being said, we had several guys pass me, and then they went right around him. They made it look easy. I was like, dang it, they can get around him. How come I am stuck behind him? But it was all right because it made me hold back, and I had a lot of energy for loop 2. And I really got after it loop 2. I think loop 1 I finished 124th, and then loop 2 I come in on 92nd place. And even then I got passed right at the end, like right before they had the caution flag out, like slow down caution, and then I got passed right after that. So I would have got 91st place, but I got past the last 10 feet from the finish line there. But anyways, we're on the north side, really bumpy through here. Now my suspension setup was doing really good, felt really comfortable on the bike. I did end up blowing my right fork on this race, which I bottomed out pretty hard a couple times. These high speeds, some of these you cross over and there'd be a big dip from where a road crossing is, and you just slam into the other side. I remember hitting a really hard rock too in this first loop, so that might have been where it just totally bam slammed it down. Oh, and then I do have a gash on the tube. So the bottom tube, there's a big scar on the tube itself, the casing, I guess, from the King of the Motos hard enduro I did a couple weeks ago. So I have ordered new fork tubes on eBay, which I found pretty good price. It was about $500 for a set of new forks. Someone said brand new, never used. They switched them out, and because I looked on Rocky Mountain, and to get OEM forks, it was going to be about $500 just for like a lower, and I'm getting uppers and lowers both sides for $500 from someone selling there. So hopefully they're in good conditioning, and then I'll take those apart and swap out the parts. Because I got my suspension tuned for me. Anyways, maybe I'll make another video on that suspension tuning. I'm not an expert at it, but I'm learning more and more all the time, and I know there's a lot of new riders out there that have questions about their suspension too and what they should be doing, because these fast guys, they got it dialed in. I mean, their bikes are going so fast, and through the stuff, it can get so choppy and rough. Having a nice plush suspension, it can make a world of difference. Now I got Joshua still up there ahead of me. He's gonna be ahead of me for a long time, folks. But right here is a little rocky section, and I should have picked a little outside line. I could have made a pass right here. It is rocky, but like I could have went up to the right there, around. I mean, it was rocky, but I could get over those pretty good. Anyway, he was doing a pretty good pace. Like in the open desert stuff, he was going pretty quick. If there was any little bit of obstacle, kind of slowed down a little bit. And gosh dang it, like right here, I could have made a pass. Should have got on the gas, made that corner, but then I get stuck behind him. Ah, you should have made a pass. I know. Just gotta have some more balls. I'm just so timid when it comes to passing. You'll see, I'll get past, and man, those guys doing the passing, it's so scary sometimes. I don't know why. It's just, you know, I want a nice big passing lane where it's just easy. I go right around the guy. He probably slows down. He waves me through. That would be the way I like to pass. But there's some guys, you know, they're just going for it and they'll go right by us. It's so awesome, you know. I'm like, I need to get on their level because, dang it, I'm losing time here. You know, this first loop, I think I could have easily shaved off about 4 minutes, I'd say. If I could just get around Josh here. Come on. He's looking back at me. Look at this big jump. He had a big old jump right there, too. He's doing the stank leg up there. He's got that kung fu kick. Bah! Keeping his balance. Did that. I try to keep my feet on the pegs most of the time. You know, in any naturals turn there, yeah, you're gonna do your motocross style leg out turn, but I try to keep my feet on the pegs. Every once in a while, you know, your foot will come out for balance, and gosh, if you put your foot down, it catches that ground. God, that's when you are gonna tear and your ACL and your knee, your ankle. You're gonna kick a rock or something like that. You know, it's just safer to keep your feet on the pegs. Now, right coming up here, I'm gonna get past on the right-hand side. You can just see right here. This guy's coming flying by. Look how fast he's just flying by. Gets right behind Josh there. I didn't catch his number, so I don't know who that was. But I needed to be like him. Need to get on that level. He doesn't waste any time. Gets around me, gets around them, and he's off. He's riding his own pace. I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to ride my own pace and not get stuck behind another rider. I don't know how you do that. I haven't hit that level yet. I gotta see right now. I should get up and just get around. It's pretty flat and open here. I could have done that, but I'm just not doing it. It's gonna be this broken record, this video today, of me not making the pass. So this is what I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of how do I mentally, you know, it's a confidence thing too. I need to have the confidence to get up and make that pass. Now coming up, we got a couple riders that we're gonna make some passes. Just talking about passing, we got someone. See, he's pulled off. See, that's ideal right there. Just make that nice and easy. Doesn't stress me out. God, passing someone's just so stressful. So I got a little bit of a Congo line going here. So that looks like a Kawasaki in the front. Then you got Josh and me. Yeah, it's hard to pass. We've been talking about that.
That guy did.
Yeah, you need to do what that guy did. It would be wouldn't be eating all this dust. Man, my lips, my face was brown. I had just thick coat of dirt on my lips. That's the price you pay by being stuck behind somebody, is you got your face full of dirt. My mouth was full of dirt. My little dangly thing in the back of my throat was like stuck. There were several times in the race I'm trying to tongue it and like pull it down from the roof of my mouth. It was just like glued to the mud in the back of my throat there. So we got a little split in the trail here, and I picked this outside line on the right. I think, all right, we're gonna get headed Josh now, but no, I got this cowie in front of me slowing me down. Yes, that's Greg on the cowie slowing me down. Anyways, get past here on the left. I'm losing places. Should have stayed where I was. Yeah, I chose poorly. Anyways, that's just racing, folks. It's like a chess game sometimes. You gotta be smart with the line choices. All right, gotta come out, swing out wide, get around one rider coming up. There's Greg passing him, one green bike, and then another green bike. There's Logan. I traded green bikes. I passed a green bike, and then a green bike passed me. I just can't get around it. That's Logan there, taking that outside line really fast. There's a dinosaur out in the desert, folks. Coming up to a checkpoint here. They put up all these old western little posters here, which I like it. It makes these checkpoints a lot of fun. They got their cowboy hats on. Yeehaw! But I'm looking at this poster on the right. I almost drive right into it. Right there, boom. I almost clipped that. I was like, all right, don't stare at the building, you know. Sometimes, you know, you stare at an object and you just steer right into it. And that's what happened. I just steered right into it. Now we hop on this Autobahn. There was a couple of these creek washes, and they were just like the Autobahn. You're just as fast as your bike can go, basically. I don't have no steering dampener, so I'm getting the speed wobbles. So I'm holding on really stiff to the handlebars right now, keeping my steering straight. Oh, yeah, it's stressful going this fast, you know. My heart rate just it's stressing out. You know, the hard enduros that I ride, you go slow. You do get physically more exhausted because it's like a whole body kind of, because you're pushing the bike, you're picking your bike. It's so full body exhausting. But the stress level isn't as high as these high speed races. I mean, look, you're going so fast. Any little thing, a freaking jackrabbit could run out in front of me right now and I'd die. I'd just be tumbling for the next 100 yards. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I'd break every bone in my body. So, stressed out. Having fun though. This is great. Get some air. Not hitting any whoops, man. If there was some whoops through here, it would be my knees. By the end of this race, my kneecaps are about to explode. There is, you know, out here in Spangler, you do get some giant whoops, and you're hitting them with speed. So these giant whoops are just destroying my legs. So caught up to Josh again. He got ahead of me when he made those passes, and I finally caught back up to him. And this is, I could tell he slacked off the pace a little bit. So I'll get behind him, and I settle into just kind of like a cruise mode. And then he puts his hand in his air. I don't know what it is, waving at me, or maybe he's flipping me off. He's like, oh, it's you again. He probably just has some arm pump. My right arm got arm pump first, and then it was my left arm second. So during this first loop, I kept shaking out my left arm here, which not too bad. I'm telling you, my conditioning was probably the best it's been in a long time on this race. So I was just able to get through it pretty good. My legs even did pretty good. I got a little cramping on loop 2 on my thighs, and the bottom end of the thighs, right by the knee, it's where it cramped up. And then my left forearm, right next to my elbow, kind of cramped up loop 2. There he is doing the kung fu kick. It's a good jump coming up right here. You could really send it right here. This would have been a big one. There's a wagon wheel off to the left, the staging area where everyone's parked. And we're gonna come up, cross over the road, and there's another little jump, and I bottom out so hard on the far side. I thought I was gonna endo, actually. I was like, man, I was just instantly picturing me flipping over the handlebars, because, you know, when you bottom out so hard and you kind of rebound off the top, but didn't. All right, it's coming up. I think it's right here, the next one. Yeah, it's coming up right here. So this jump right now. Bam! Land on the far side. I'm watching on the camera. It looked like, I mean, you wouldn't have even noticed it unless I pointed it out, but I bottomed out so hard, and I thought I was going to get that buck rebound from the bike, but it didn't. The bike just took it, and I was so thankful, because I was picturing myself laid out on the trail in agony, but survived. Still running pretty fast, so I'm just in this cruise mode here behind Josh, and it's probably been around 15 miles now. Oh, get up the line a little bit. Get back on. You saw Josh doing the snake leg up there. I don't think I was doing that. I get off a little bit, just let off the throttle, and get my bearings, get my balance back on it. This is why I needed to make the pass, you know. If there's the open stuff, he was running pretty good, but as soon as I got into any kind of little harder terrain, he had slowed down quite a bit and caused me to slow. I'm losing time here. I need to get around. There's racing here. You need to be racing. This isn't trail riding, Georgie. This is racing. You got to pass people. If you ain't passing, you ain't racing. I'm gonna make a shirt. If you ain't passing somebody, you ain't racing anyone. Something like that. You need to think of a good slogan. If you ain't passing, you ain't racing. I don't know. I'll think of something. If you ain't passing, you're getting passed. Maybe that would sound better. Got to dodge and weave through the rocks back there. Back into more open. Loop 1 just had, Loop 1, if you guys aren't familiar with Hare Hounds, I say this every time. Hare Hound has 2 loops. It has this, that are different courses. You're not rerunning the same courses, except for right at the end, just for the finish line area. But usually it's around 35, 40 miles. This one is 40-mile loop. And the first loop is a fast pace, very little technical terrain or hill climbs or obstacles to get through. It's pretty easy. Any rider can get through it. Very bumpy just because it's going so fast. There are people that only race the first loop, and then there's the diehards that do the full 2 loops, which when you ask, like that, my buddy Dan, he did his first 2 loops, and it's a beast. That first time conquering that second loop can really get you, and but once you do it, you know what a Hare Hound's all about, and now you're not afraid, and you're able to hit the 2 loops every time. There's a right. I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna cut it short and get around them. Well, that was like the weakest right I've ever seen. They didn't even go right. They had a right arrow, and that trail just went straight. So I was cutting right for no reason. Yeah, I gotta get around him, but I can't do it. So loop 1 was pretty well marked. They did have the blue caution signs out there. Loop 2, they didn't do the blue caution. They ran out of blue caution signs, they said. So they put down arrows. And I totally forgot that the down arrow was a caution sign. And I kept thinking a down was like the trail went down or something like that. But anyways, I just forgot about that. I just remembered it right now. That I kept seeing the down arrows on loop 2. I was like, what are these down arrows? Because they ran out of the blue ones. All right, we got a pass coming up. We got a rider. See if Josh, see how he gets around him, and then see what I can do. Now, right here, it's hard to get out on an outside line because there's a lot. It's really rocky out there in the weeds. Little baseball-sized rocks, football-sized rocks, and you're going quick. If you miss one, you can get kicked out real easy. All right, here we go. Josh is gonna make his pass. He goes off to the right here, gets right around him, makes it look easy. I come up, I'm like, I'm next. He pulled off. Got lucky right there, folks. That was an easy pass. Didn't have to work for it. That was nice. No stress. A couple hard dips right here. Now coming up, there's gonna be a jump, and there's if I went to the right, it would have been a pretty good jump. And I went to the left, which I thank God I did, because sometimes, you know, you don't know what's on the other side. And right here, there's a jump to the right. You can hit it right there. And there was a rock I saw, but I hit that one on the left, and I don't look like much, but going at speed, any little bit of air, you know, you get off the mix and get off the line, pucker a little bit. All right, we need some action here. Make something happen. Come on, get around. This is a good spot to make a pass. See, I'm right up on him. Could easily, don't see any rocks, just some bushes here. Get on the outside, make a pass. Do something, Georgie. People are getting bored. Need some action. Sometimes racing's just like this, though. It's just not a lot of action going on. I'm kind of stuck. I don't have the confidence to get around them. If I got around them, see, I think I would have saved about 4 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. 4 minutes if I would have passed Josh about 15 miles back. But that being said, I did save a lot of energy. I think that's why I was able to push so hard on my loop 2, is because I was holding, you know, yeah, it's feeling good.
Arm pump is gone already, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, arm pump's gone. Good job. Now coming up, there's going to be a hard left, and I could have made the inside line, but I'm following him, and I'm not following the trail. I should have looked up ahead and saw that I went left, but I get passed. And then I'm like, oh, dang it, I'm taken out. And then I got passed again. There goes Eric flying by me. Now, Eric, oh, man, there's a checkpoint coming up. And just after a checkpoint, there's this big old trench. And he spills in that trench. I come up right up on him. So hopefully he's all right. Sometimes those falls can kind of shake you up a little bit. But, yeah, deep trench. So Eric, he's got to make the pass now on Josh. Gosh, see, I'd be up. See that guy, the first guy that passed, I'd be up there already. I was thinking about what coulda, shoulda happened on this race. I could have done a lot better. Still had a blast though, folks. I love racing. I mean, I love being out doing anything on the dirt bike, but racing just, it adds this excitement to your ride that you just don't get on a normal trail ride. Has a little split. I go left. Maybe I should have went straight because I get passed again. It comes Ryan on the right, on the outside. Gets right around me. Dang it. He gave me a little thumbs up right there, though. Then he looks down. See, he looked down right there. He did that several times. I get behind him and I see him several times. He looks down on the ground. So I don't know if he's looking at his bike. Something's going on. He keeps looking down on the ground. Dang it. Keep getting past though. I'm gonna change that. Next race, I got better this race. Definitely was my best finish, and as confidence-wise, I was feeling really good at the end of this race. Now, the level of difficulty, I'd say this wasn't the hardest Hare Hound. The one I did, what was that? Back in January. I think that was a much harder course than this course, but still a lot of fun. Couple of these crossings, you're just bottoming out, you know, just hitting those far side of that berm there, just hitting it really hard. Your legs, your knees are letting you know they're there. Alright, there's a checkpoint ahead. Come down. This is a fun one. I love how they do these checkpoints. So we've had the western. And now here we come into, it's kind of like the Oriental. Got the sumo wrestlers there. We got some geishas coming up here. It's a lot of fun. Boom, look how fast that was too. She's a pro. Alright, get after it, Trixie. Don't let these guys out of your sight. Sometimes when you get past you kind of let that person go. You're like, all right, I'm just going to let them go, and I'm just going to ride a little slower. But nope, I'm like, I should be ahead of them because I should have passed Josh a long time ago. So I'm not going to let them get away with that. So I'm going to keep after them, get right back on their butts. All right, catching up. See, I got right back up with these guys. And Ryan gets around Josh there. Now I'm up next. Josh, he's just putting up a good fight for me. Can't figure out how to get around him. He's riding that TM. I've looked at a couple TM bikes. They look really sharp. Just not a lot of them around. So as far as, I don't know, as far as getting parts and stuff, how easy that is. I know you order a lot of stuff online, but as far as like mechanically working on them, there's just not a lot of people with experience on them. All right, here we got the train track. Go under the bridge here, and I think I finally get around Josh. He picks a high line there and had that little dip. So I went a little low, got through. I think we're supposed to be down in the creek here. I didn't see a flag right away, but I got back in here and then, okay, there's a ribbon on the ground there. Yep. There is a road up to the right there, which, I mean, you could ride up there, I guess, but I like to ride the whole course. I don't, you cut a corner, just maybe get a pass. There is leeway on each side, but I like riding the course. That being said, it reminds me back on the Hard Enduro, the King of the Motos, where I talked about the pros and how the pros pick their lines. And as an amateur guy, you get stuck on the line, and that it's a race, and the line or the ribbon line is just a guide. There is leeway, and so you don't have to ride right on the line. You can go outside, and it's like thinking outside the box. Sometimes it's just hard to think outside the box. But on Hare and Hounds, the difference in Hare and Hound, I'd say, is you don't want to lose the ribbon line, because you can lose it and then you'll get off. You can go off a quarter mile in the wrong direction before you realize I haven't seen any ribbon lines in a long time. Out in Spangler, it gets ridden a lot through the week. On the weekends, it's a very popular off-road area. So there's a lot of fresh treks running every which way, so it's real easy to lose the line. You follow someone else's track from like the previous day, and then you realize you're a quarter mile off the line. So but making passes and like cutting that corner, so you can see people cut that corner, which just saves saves a second here, 2 seconds there, and over a 3-hour race, you've saved over a couple minutes probably. Yeah, it was like a roller coaster up and down right there. So you're going up and you're like, okay, which way is the trail gonna go? And then boom, cut right on the downhill. So I've made my pass on Josh, and now I just got fresh air and clear skies in front of me, and I'm really getting running into bushes, but I'm really gonna get my second win right here, and I'm gonna get after it. I'm gonna catch those guys that are ahead of me. So I'm gonna do some good riding right now. Just trying to stay clean here, no mistakes. No mistakes are just so costly on a race, and as far as just tipping the bike, crashing, but just a clean line as far as hitting the bumps, picking when to accelerate, when to pull back on the bars, lean forward on the bike. There's so much going on here, not just sitting down and grabbing, twisting the throttle, but being smart, conserving energy. Really, that's what it is. You're trying to conserve energy because you're really gonna be hauling balls. All right, so you saw a little bit of a puff of dust back there. It's like smelling blood. I'm getting close, so I'm catching these guys. Here comes a rider the other direction. I'm like, where? That's dangerous. I don't know if he's you know, he could just be out here riding. It is Sunday, so there are, like I said earlier, there's just people out here riding. But man, I hope, you know, that could be a head-on. Maybe he knows there's a ride. I didn't see if he had a number on him, but you gotta keep your head on swivel out here. Look at this bob and weave through the bushes here. Catching him. Looking good, George. You're going pretty quick now. Right here, I'm going to catch this bush on the right. Boom. And it really flings my back tire to the left. I almost got kicked out, but it saved it. That's where being up, standing, really helped me. It saved me. Coming up, there's photos by Grumpy. So I don't know if that's Grumpy right there himself. Hopefully, am I standing? I don't know. Yeah, I must be standing. Usually I'm sitting in the pictures. They gotta have a warning sign. Photographer ahead. You know, stand up. Dan wrote me, he sent me a picture of him. He's all looking like a pro, standing up, doing a wheelie. And I was like, yeah, I'm usually sitting in all those. I told them they didn't have a warning that says, yeah, warning, photographer ahead, stand up, you idiot. You know, you want to look good on the camera. Ah, it's getting more dust. You're closing in. Come on, twist that throttle. Give it a little bit more juice. Trixie, she's hungry. She needs to do some passing. She hasn't done a lot of passing yet. All right, we got a mile marker. 35 miles into the race. We've got 5 more to go before the end of loop 1. And it felt like this went fast. I think it took me hour 39, hour 40 minutes, and it felt faster. I thought I was closer to an hour, but apparently I wasn't. A little bit longer. I felt so fast though, man. I was just flying maybe. Now watch these 2 guys ahead of me in here. They go apart, and then they come back together, and they almost hit. But the guy in the left there, he gets off balance a little bit. Oh, and then it makes that guy swing right off the line. I get the pass. I'll take it. Right on, right on. So 1 down. I got a couple more to go. You know, I've been watching the Netflix series F1. It's, I think, the 6th season now. And I just started season 1. But it's a Formula 1 Drive to Survive. And it is so good. I'm like binge watching. I can't turn it off. It's such a good series about racing, Formula 1 race cars, and the way they do it. It's like a documentary. It's not a movie, and it's just well done. And it makes me excited about it. See, there's Ryan looking down again. What is he looking at? On the left side, it's the same look. He's not looking on the right. He's looking at the left. So something's going on. Maybe the foot peg or a shifter, maybe. I don't know. But recommend it if you guys want a good racing show to watch on Netflix. Ah, man, that Formula 1 Drive to Survive, it's awesome. I love it. All right, so I got Ryan now in front of me, and I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of do with Josh, kind of get right behind him, and I'm riding at his pace, even though I've caught him. So I should be getting up behind him and ready for a pass, but just kind of biding my time. Like I said, I'm so conservative on passing, and because it's so stressful making a pass. You know, if you got to take the hard line to the outside, sometimes it's real easy to make a mistake, and then all that effort you just did to get around a guy, you lose it because you dump the bike or you get off the line, and then he passes you right back. Got a little bit of a line forming up there with a couple riders up ahead of us. 1, 2, 3, 4 riders up there, and gonna start closing in, which I need to make the pass. So Ryan's gonna get around this guy real quick, and I should have followed him. I should be right on his butt. I should have followed him right there. Could have got around pretty easy. That was open. A couple little road crossings, but yeah, right, pass that guy. So I wait, and then I get past. See, when I don't make that move, I hesitated, and then that cost me another spot. Gotta not hesitate. I gotta see the opening and go for it. I'm falling back a little bit. I'm like, all right, don't fall back again. Come on, get after it. Get after it. Can't let these guys out of my sight.
Feeling good, all right.
Hey, feeling good.
Hard right back there. Throat's a little dry.
Yeah, my throat's dry.
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good, buddy. Yeah, my little dangly thing is like stuck in the back of my throat. I was trying to get a couple drinks of water in my tube there. And it's so bumpy, it's really hard. I get my screen swipes in, but to grab the little tube flopping around in front of me, I'm trying to grab it and shove it in my mouth real quick. There's a line of bikes coming up, so I'm counting on that line to slow everyone down so I can catch up. So we got that road crossing here. There's checkpoint, and this is where there's that big trench that goes across, and it is dangerous. So this is where Ryan, he had a hard time on the left, and then it's gonna be Jason. He's the one gonna be tumbling right in front of me. So he's down, and then I come up, I'm like, oh no, what's that? So he just got this big old trench. So I had to be careful. You can fly over that, yeah, you just gotta throttle lean back and absorb that, but seeing that rider down in front of me, you know, making sure he's okay, and then it's okay to be a little cautious sometimes. Get through it and keep on riding. But I got some clear trail ahead of me, so I can get after it again. Got some dust up there. I'm like, all right, let's get to it. Turn that throttle there, Georgie. Come on, she's got more go than this. Now coming up, there's going to be a little bit of a trail split. And I think a couple guys got off the line. I think right there, some guys went straight to the left. And then up here as well, there's gonna be a left arrow. And I think some people turned left on the top of this ridge up here. Which, see, there's a left arrow right there. And I think some people turned left right there. But anyways, it was a huge shortcut for some people, because later on I'll point them out when they come flying in from the left. I'm like, where the hell did these guys come from? Because we had to go down around this hill, which, you know, took a lot longer. But yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, but just kind of makes me laugh. It's so easy to get off the line, you know, and it's really no one's fault. You just riding along, and then you see the person in front of you go straight, and you just follow that person, and next thing you know, all you guys are lost. Here's a little jump coming up across the road. That's a big one. Yeah, I jumped 2 roads right there. Yeah, buddy. All right, see these guys coming in the left? Like, where'd they come from? They were way off the line, but good for them. They found it again. It'll happen sometimes. You get off the line and you end up cutting the course, not on purpose. It's just you were lost and now you're found. Loop 2, I'm telling you, Loop 2, it was a fiasco trying to find the line. There's one hill where there was a sharp left, and people I went straight, everyone went straight, and you just got off the line. You had to make a U-turn. Like, people are looking around, dazed and confused, trying to figure out where the hell did the course go. So we're coming up close to the end of the race here, and just the anticipation is getting to me. It's feeling like this last 5 miles. When I said 35 miles, seems like forever ago. It seems like this last 5 miles is just dragging out. It's just taking forever. And I know we're going in the direction of the pit, so I know we're getting close. We got Timothy here up ahead of me. Gonna make a pass on the left here. He's riding that gas. Now I've looked at some gas bikes too. I've been looking to get a two-stroke bike just because I like riding the hard enduro style of races, and they're just a little bit easier in the hard enduro scene. And I have looked at some gas. I like the color red, even though I'm riding a blue bike. I like blue too. I like blue and red and yellow. I don't know if I'm big on yellow. Maybe a little bit of yellow. I don't know. Anyways, I can't wait to get to the pits. Feeling good, not exhausted, so I did good. I think my pace, Josh holding me back, really helped me save a lot of energy. Although to be competitive, I did get third in my overall class. To be competitive, I really got to break the, I think the 100 mark for loop 1. Here's a little bit of a line coming up ahead of us. Here's where both loops joined up and connected, so we're getting close to the finish of loop 1 here. But to be competitive for racing out here, I gotta finish this top loop, or this first loop in the top 100, and I can't just be relying to make all my gains on loop 2. So I'm gonna have to go out a little harder, which seems impossible at times because we are going pretty fast, and things can get hairy in a second out here at these speeds. You know, loop 2, you do go a little slower, so it's not quite as stressful. Here I gotta get around Bill here. He's just racing loop 1. So some of these riders out here are only loop 1. You know, if you're only loop 1, you have nothing to hold back. You can just get after it the whole loop. But something about loop 2, you know, it'll get you. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this one. This was loop 1 of the Moose Run Hare Hound out here in Spangler. Hope you enjoyed it. Did pretty good. I felt like I have some room for improvement, but ran a clean race, so you can't ask much more than that. And I was ready for loop 2, and I did really good. So until that one comes out, get out, ride, and get some. Ew!